How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, as always, Hicksydust, here with another episode of the Family Gaming Podcast. That being said, I am, of course, joined by my two sons,
Run.
and Jesus.
Wait, no, I want to say that again.
All right, go ahead. All right, both my sons seem to be hit with a case of the sillies today. We'll be doing yet again another Pokemon-inspired video. This one was actually Jace's idea.
Yeah,
we'll be doing a Pokemon draft. This draft will feature Pokemon with 6 rounds representing Gens 1 through 6 until we finally build a team of Pokemon, which we will discuss at the end of the video. Benny, you won the first pick, so why don't you tell us who is your first pick?
Okay, his name is... Cubone.
Ah, Cubone. Okay.
I remember him on Gen 1.
Yep, he did start in Gen 1. He's in a couple of the gens. I can't say he's in all of them, but he did start in Gen 1.
Yeah, he started in Gen 1, and I like Cubone a lot.
Yeah, Cubone is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about him? Like, what's his typing?
He is ground type.
Yep, he's a ground type Pokemon.
And he's like the future Pokemon. He's in a story, and he's in Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, he was in the Detective Pikachu movie, actually. That's a good point. I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah.
But if that's going to be your pick for Gen 1, you actually did me a favor because I was 50-50 on who I was going to pick first.
Alright.
I'm going to do, since you picked my favorite Pokemon, I'm going to pick Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is one of my favorite starters throughout all of the games. Number 1 in the Pokedex, first Pokemon. He's actually one of the... we joke that if you pick Bulbasaur, you're playing on easy mode because he instantly washes... Brock and Misty, and then Lieutenant Surge. I mean, while I don't think grass is strong against electric, it's definitely not weak to it. Then we're gonna switch things over to Jace. Well, Jace, why don't you give us your first draft pick in this draft?
My first draft pick is a Chargamazard.
Charizard?
No,
Okay.
It's not Charizard, it's Chargamazard.
Chargamazard?
So Chargamazard is a fire flying Pokemon. One of the best Pokemon in Gen 1 to pick if you want to play on hard mode. Because it's like Bulbasaur's easy mode, Squirtle's like normal mode, and then Charizard is like hard mode. Except I already know that the people who actually like Charizard are just people who really like him just for his design and probably have never used Charizard.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was actually expecting you to go in a different direction for this one. I know you've publicly said that Squirtle is your favorite starter for Gen 1. That's why I'm a little surprised you picked Charizard.
That's because it's not my favorite starter period. My favorite starter period is actually water type, and I wouldn't want to, use that.
I think I know who you're talking about, but since this is a draft, we'll just let the picks roll. Is there more you want to say before we head over to Benny's next pick?
No, but I'm thinking of a song that I want to do on my next pick.
Okay, all right. Benny, why don't you tell us who's going to be your first pick for Gen 2?
It is Blueberry.
Okay, so for those who don't know, Blueberry is one of the nicknames we use for the Pokemon Wooper and Quagsire.
Yeah. Quagsire, he's like the big guy version.
So you're specifically
Wooper?
picking Quagsire, just so that way I can mark this down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like him on Gen 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's Gen 2 introductee.
He's just the best character.
Well, Quagsire is a water and ground type Pokemon. Is there anything else you want to say about Quagsire?
Yeah. So
Coming right off the, I just want to say he's coming right off the gate. It is his second ground type Pokemon, but being water, he does counter Charizard, so that's not a bad pick.
And Wooper, wait, what is Wooper?
Wooper's the first form.
Wait, what is what type is he?
Oh yeah, he's ground in water. We already mentioned that. I'm gonna go on to my next draft pick.
Alright, that's enough for me.
Yeah, that's enough for you. I'm gonna go Steelix here. I was thinking about another one, but Steelix is one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 2. So I go from Grass type and Poison type, and I'm gonna add a Ground and Steel type Pokemon to my team. So I cover 4 elements right now. Steelix was introduced in Gen 2 to kick off the Steel type Pokemon. Fun fact: Steel has the heaviest defense in all the gens. Yeah, you have to trade Onix holding a metal coat. I've always liked Steelix's design. He's just one of the cooler Pokemon to me that were introduced in Gen 2. But we're going to kick things off to Jace. Jace, why don't you round out Gen 2 and tell us who your Pokemon is going to be?
My Pokemon is going to be Hitmontop. Hitmontop is a pure fighting Pokemon, just like its ancestors from Gen 1 to Gen 1, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. One, you have to get higher attack, and one, you have to get higher defense. But to get Hitmontop, you have to get really lucky. You have to catch Tyro, which is also introduced in this generation, at least I think. Then you have to make sure that when you get it to the correct level, the attack and defense stats are the exact same.
I don't know. They have to be like even. I know Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, one you have to have higher attack, and the other you have to have higher defense.
A cool thing that I like about Hitmontop, whenever you're playing in a battle, his animation that happens, he'll actually jump on his head and start spinning like a spinny top.
Yep.
And that's all I have to say about Hitmontop. But here's my song. So you know the Whopper song? Here's it, but with Whooper. Whooper, 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 pickles, lettuce, Whooper, Whooper.
Yep, Whopper does kind of sound like Whooper. I'll give you that one. I'm noticing a pattern here. I picked Bulbasaur, you picked Charizard, I picked Steelix, you pick Hitmontop. I noticed the trend going here. But all right, why don't we start Gen 3? Benny, why don't you tell us who your first Gen 3 Pokemon is going to be?
Who is X-Cloud?
X-Cloud, okay.
He just yells.
Yeah, he's the third. He's the final evolution of a third
Like
stage
the loudest
evolution.
Pokemon. Yes.
He starts with Whismur.
He's like the loudest Pokemon ever.
Yeah, he looks like an engine. I think he's got like exhaust pipes coming out his rear. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
So why don't you tell us more about X-Cloud? Why do you like X-Cloud so much?
Because he I don't know why he yells the entire place. He's like the loudest Pokemon ever.
Yeah, it's kind of his aesthetic. He gets the move Hyper Voice and Echoed Voice, which is more effective the more times that you use it. Alright, so Benny picked a normal type. That's actually surprising. Yeah. I didn't think anybody was going to choose a normal type. I'm going to switch things over here.
X-Cloud.
Okay, what do you want to say?
So, X-Cloud, he yells the entire place like a maniac.
Yeah, that's his whole aesthetic when he levels up. He's I think we covered that already though.
He's like the most maniac ever.
He's a maniac?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna pick my Gen 3 Pokemon. I was trying not to do another so I was split on this one. My original pick would have given me a duplicate of Steel type, so I didn't want to pick that. If this was just picking favorite Pokemon, my team would look so different. But since we're doing this strategically for a balanced team, I think I'm going to have to choose McNugget. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'd like to pick Torchic and then I name it McNuggets. It's kind of like a nod to that South Park episode with the chicken fighting where they name it McNugget. I'm going to specifically talk about Blaziken. Blaziken starts off the run of fire and fighting type Pokemon for Pokemon. Benny, what do you're trying to get involved here? What do you want to say?
Why is Nugget a McNugget in Pokemon?
Well, that's just my nickname. Kind of like how you like to name Whooper Blueberry. I like to pick a Torchic and name it McNuggets.
I like that. I like that name.
Yeah.
Like the nickname.
But like I said, Blaziken's a pretty strong fire type
Yeah,
Pokemon. He kicks off the run of fire and fighting type Pokemon over the next couple of gens. And for whatever reason in Gen 3, fire type Pokemon were really rare. Like there were only like 3 different lines. I think one of them was Vulpix, maybe Ponyta, and then Torchic. Jace, you want to say something?
I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, one time when I was playing Generation 8, I was in the DLC where you could get a legendary, and I found a fully evolved Torchic.
You're talking about the legendary cave thing? from
Yeah,
Gen 8?
legendary cave. I found actually all 3 of Gen 3 starters, and I especially found Final Evolution Mudkip with its special ability.
All right, that's nice. Why don't you kick things off with your next Pokemon?
My next Pokemon is going to be Sceptile.
Tip. I get what you did there. All right, so tell us more about Sceptile.
Alright, so Sceptile is the superior Gen 3 starter. He has a Mega, like all the other ones, which I like. Except I don't really like it too much because it makes his tail look like a Christmas tree. I don't know why they did that.
Not specifically a Christmas, but definitely a pine tree. I definitely agree with you about Sceptile being the superior Gen 3 Pokemon. But I'll say this. This is the first Pokemon you picked that doesn't completely counter my Pokemon. Finally picked a grass type. What else would you like to say about Sceptile?
Sceptile is probably one of the stronger of the Gen 3 starters. It probably is really good, even though technically it comes from a game with a very strong Pokemon that's normal type, probably stronger than a legendary, which it is. It's not.
Can we fact check that? Is that accurate?
Yeah, actually, now we're getting off topic. There's a Pokemon. So you know how Snorlax is really, really fat and tired?
Mm-hmm.
You know how your dad has a gem and he's a normal type gym leader?
Yeah.
You know how he has the Sloth Pokemon, the final evolution of that?
Yeah, Slacking.
Yeah, Slacking actually has better stats than any of the legendaries.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's up, Benny?
Why is Snorlax big fat like person in the world?
You know, I don't really know where the design from
It's just
Snorlax comes from, but that's kind of taking us off topic here.
He's the fattest sleeping boy ever.
Yeah, he's a big boy. I need a thick boy.
Thick boy.
Is there something else you want to talk about with Sceptile, or should I throw things back over to Benny for his next pick?
Well, Benny, go.
All right, Benny, who's going to be your next pick?
Daddy Dino.
Okay, so this is another Pokemon we're picking based off our nicknames.
Yeah.
Daddy Dino is his version of Turtwig. I think we've covered this previously on the podcast.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go with which form are you taking with Daddy Dino? His first, second, or third form?
The first four.
So you're just gonna stick with plain Turtwig?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like the regular version of Daddy Dino.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks like a dino, and he has like a shell on his back. He kind of looks like a turtle.
Yeah, he is. He's kind of like a little earth turtle.
And he has like leaves as his hair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's like really cool.
Yeah, I do like Turtwig. He's adorable.
He's like the adorablest character.
Yep.
Which type is he?
So Turtwig is going to be a grass type. I think he evolves into grass and ground, but I think he's just a grass type for his first 2 forms.
Yeah, I really like that though.
Mm-hmm. Well, if that's so, you got Turtwig. I'm looking over
Now you have to say Daddy Dino.
Daddy Dino. Excuse me. I'm going over the types here that I've already picked, and I'm going to go for a type that I haven't picked yet. I'm going to pick Luxray. He is going to be my first, well, excluding starter, third evolution, third stage Pokemon, Luxray, pure electric. To me, he's one of the coolest looking Pokemon in Gen 4. That's why I picked him here. Again, I'm doing a combination of personal favorite and team balancing here. If I were to do my traditional favorite pick Pokemon, it would be very, very heavily loaded on the dragon type side. What, Benny? What would you like to say about my pick?
Dad?
Yes.
So, your pick is really good.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's like really good, and it has like a fresh kind of mate. Like, it's really good.
All right. Well,
I'm not
thank
gonna
you.
lie.
I really appreciate the compliment. But I'm going to turn things over to Jace now. Jace, why don't you tell us about your next Pokemon?
My next Pokemon is Pingu.
Excuse me?
I call Empoleon sometimes when I play Gen 4 Pingu.
Okay.
Because Pingu is a cartoon character that's a penguin.
I don't
funny.
I don't really know the reference all that much, but I'll let you talk about your pick.
Alright. So
He's also happens to be your third starter Pokemon in this whole challenge.
Alright, the reason I did that is because Empoleon, he is the bestest of boys. He is probably one of the best Pokemon to pick for Gen 4. The fire starter, I mean, like, it's decent. It's not the best. It's just copying Blaziken. But I still think it's, like, Gen 5 onward, the firefighting just got old.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
With what they did with Incineroar.
Well, Incineroar, they had to make it fire and dark, even though it clearly was an inspired fire and fighting type Pokemon. Did you know that Incineroar was actually made or inspired by a wrestler?
Yes.
So the fact that they didn't go firefighting is kind of funny.
And look at Score Bunny, too.
What's up?
Which gen is this?
Well, Score Bunny was a soccer player, but we'll get into that when we cover Gen 8 down the line.
Dad?
What?
Which gen is this?
Oh, this is we're on we're rounding out Gen 4. But
We're on Gen 4?
mm-hmm. Was there anything else you wanted to say about Empoleon, Jace?
Anyone who doesn't pick Empoleon doesn't know what a good Pokemon is.
Well, I personally would pick Snivy here, but that's just my I'm a notorious grass type user. The only thing there's very few gens where I don't pick the grass type.
A cool thing about Empoleon, he's actually quite accurate to a real penguin. And there's a type of penguin in the world called a king penguin. It actually has a little king thing on its head, and that's what Empoleon is based off of. And Benny, can you please stop hitting Dad's head?
What's up, Benny?
So, Dad, why is your pick is very fresh?
Yeah.
Fresh.
Well, we've already covered my pick. We're on Jace's pick now, but why don't we throw things over to your next pick? Why don't you tell us who you've picked on this one?
Who is it? Among Us.
Now, I don't know if he likes Among Us.
I call it Among Us.
Yeah, I don't know if he likes it because of the obvious Among Us reference or if he actually likes the Pokemon, but he always tends to pick this Pokemon when it comes up in conversation.
Yeah, he's like the best.
He's a grass and poison type.
Yeah, he's a grass and poison type.
Is there... Yeah.
What is like? What does he beat though?
Grass and poison. So grass beats rock, water, and I think ground. And then poison, I know beats fairy, but I don't remember what else poison is strong against.
So, and like, he's the best. And
Oh, poison
I see
also
him.
beats grass.
yeah. And like, it's like, I don't know. So like, he's the best Pokemon ever in my entire life.
You just like him because of the pun.
Yeah, because he looks like Among Us.
Well, he looks like a mushroom, but his name is definitely reminds me of Among Us. But I'm going to go on to now my pick for Gen 5. I'm going to go Scrafty here. Scrafty is the evolution of one of my... His first form, Scraggy, is to me one of the most adorable looking Pokemon in the entire... He's one of the goodest of boys. Scrafty is a fighting and dark type Pokemon, and I always use it in my Gen 5 team. So I'm going to put Scrafty here at 5 in my team. Jace, I'm going to kick things off to you because I'm out of things to say about Scrafty.
Alright, mine is, I think how you pronounce it is Zoroark.
Yeah, I think you actually did that pretty well.
So it's a dark Pokemon, and its whole thing is kind of like Ditto. Except Ditto, its ability is where it would actually turn into Pokemon. Zoroark is more like Pokemon that's supposed to be hidden. And it's especially good because it can learn a lot of different moves. It can learn a fire move, it can learn a grass move, I'm pretty sure it can learn a water move too. Basically how it works, its ability is whichever Pokemon's at the exact end of your party, meaning like at the back of your party you were to have, per se, like a Charizard, it would turn into Charizard when you send it out. But it wouldn't say that it was a Zoroark, it would just say the Pokemon's name that you actually have.
Yeah, Zoroark is he kind of like casts an illusion. So let's just say you send out it masks itself to look like the Pokemon, but it doesn't turn itself into it entirely. Like if you were to throw out Blastoise and he had what looked to be a Charmander and you went to go use Hydro Pump, it wouldn't necessarily kill it because it's not actually a fire type Pokemon. It's Zoroark in hiding. Benny, what would you like to say?
So, why is Charizard the best Pokemon ever?
Well, we've covered Charizard in round 1 with Jace's pick, and Jace even admitted he doesn't think Charizard is the best Pokemon, but he thought it was the best choice for this team challenge. What else would you like to tell us about Zoroark?
Zoroark can learn I'm pretty sure he can learn Flamethrower, which if you send out a Charizard and you want to make it look like a Charizard, someone could just do a water Pokemon, and then you just like use some like grass move, which I'm pretty sure it can learn. Just imagine that.
Yeah, I don't specifically know the moves that Zoroark can use. I'll have to like look at that at another time. But Zoroark is a pretty good utility piece to put in your team. I actually kind of like this one. I like that pick for you. So let's kick things off. Yeah, we're up to the final gen. Why don't you kick us off here with our final gen there, Benny? Greninja, okay.
He's like in Smash.
Yeah, he is in Smash.
I remember that, but I like him.
Hey, Greninja is the final evolution of Froakie.
He does this.
Jace, you can help me out with this one. I think he's Water Dark. Is that right?
I think he's Water Dark or Water Fighting.
No, I know he's not fighting, so I'm gonna stick with Water Dark. Benny, what else would you like to say about Greninja?
Greninja? What is he also from?
I know he's from Smash, but he starts in Gen 6. I think
Gen
he's available
6?
in some of the other gens via Pokemon Home or trading.
Wait, can we trade stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you can trade stuff if you have Pokemon. That's been one of the key mechanics of Pokemon, is trading to evolve certain Pokemon. Although,
why can you trade people?
well, it is a way to make a community out of it. So, like, if you had to trade with your friends to get the whole Pokedex. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, Greninja. So, Gen 6 introduces one of my favorite Dragon-type Pokemon of all time, Noibat, and Noibat evolves into Noivern, and that is my pick, Noivern. Noivern is a really strong revenge attacker with high speed, and he can learn a variety of different moves. So if your first Pokemon gets knocked out, he's a good Pokemon to throw in next. Thank you, Benny. But yeah, we're running short on time here. This video is running a little long, so Jace, why don't you round out our next pick with your 6th gen Pokemon?
Lord Goomy, if you beat me to Goomy, you'll eat yourself.
Gumi's. I liked the pick for you, but Gumi, I'm not a big fan of this Pokemon. To me, it looks like a giant booger dragon.
Yes, and I hate you for that. I'm picking Mudra, but I really love Gumi. Since you're talking about Gumi, Gumi is basically take.
What is Goomy?
Well, Jace is actually just.
You gotta like this video, okay?
Just
All right.
everyone like, subscribe, comment, anything. Even if you dislike or like, it still helps us get pushed around the algorithm.
No interaction is a bad interaction, so make sure you interact with this video. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and keep your eyes to the horizons for more Hicksydust content. Thank you so much.